Hi everyone, this is Jim. Welcome to this postmortem of my Blitz game number 566. Before I get into the video, I wanted to mention that tomorrow will be Thanksgiving in the United States, and so I won't be uploading any new videos for a few days. I'm not traveling anywhere, but I'll be occupied otherwise for the next couple days, and then I should be back pretty soon to uploading videos. So all of you have a happy Thanksgiving as well. So this game was an interesting one. It was a dual commentary game against Devin, and Devin has a YouTube channel, Devin Chess, and he did a live commentary. He recorded it while he was playing against me, so you can check out his video too, see his live comments as well as mine. So it was a nice game too. He started off with e4, and I knew Devin was an e4 player. He wrote about that in his in the description on his YouTube channel, so I was prepared and I played e5. Good way to see how they want to proceed, and also gives the e4 player a chance to play lots of funny gambits and things, King's Gambit. But he goes for the Vienna game, which is also can be played either for solid positional reasons or to play an exciting gambit, and he chooses the gambit continuation, which is f4. So a nice way to play, and I've only faced this once in tournament practice, and in that game I took the pawn and I got into a big attack, and in fact it's not good to take the pawn. The attack that white gets in this case, it's like just a better version of the King's Gambit. He gets this immediate e5 push to kick the knight around. So that's the thing to remember about this f4 in the Vienna game, is you don't want to take the pawn. And in fact, the best response is to counterattack the center with a d5, which I eventually remembered, because after I played that game, I went and looked it up afterwards to find out what the best response is. And so I do know a few moves here. I think we'll show them. He takes the pawn, natural, and I take this pawn. And this pawn is secure. He could trade knights, but there's no big advantage to white to doing that. I think they normally keep the pieces on at this point. But this is as far as I really know the opening. I just haven't faced it since, basically. I was prepared to play d5 if I ever saw it again and then wing it. So that's what I'm doing here in this Blitz game. Devin continues with knight f3. And let's see. Yeah, there's other options here. Queen f3 also looks like a good move. And d3 immediately kicking the knight might be interesting as well. But knight f3 can't be wrong. It's a nice developing move. The engine, by the way, gives an advantage to black in this position. And probably, from a technical point of view, black is better. But white has the advantage in this particular case that he's more familiar with the opening, so he knows more of the themes and the ideas. And so we'll see him get a pretty good game shortly. Let's see, I continue with knight c6, which is, it's not a bad move, but it's maybe not the most accurate. Bishop e7 looks like a good idea to kind of strengthen this diagonal, maybe prepare to bring the knight back this way. I was thinking the knight would come back in this direction and get to the e6 square. That's often a good square. In front of the pawn, there's no f-pawn coming forward to harass it, and it can help defend the king side over there. So if I could get that in, that's probably good, although I don't know if I want to waste time right away with the knight tour. The engine is also saying I could just take the knight on c3 right away, but it made sense to me to just keep developing. And now he continued with d4. I think that's fine. Bishop b5 could have been played here to harass my knight, to pin the knight, but looks like d5 is an okay move. It does allow this bishop b4 pin. I didn't really think about this. But Devin mentioned it in his commentary. Probably a good idea to go ahead and play that now. And then he could block it with bishop to d2. Let's see, after bishop d2, bishop g4 pinning the other knight. Looks like that's good for black. And queen to d3 is one of the engine recommendations. And just f6 now, challenging this center, leaving things as is. Yeah, it looks like active placement for black's pieces. So if I had this position again, that would be the way to play it. Let's see, I went with knight takes c3. At this point, you have to recognize this knight has no retreat squares. That's covered now by the bishop and the knight. So even though it's defended by the queen, it can't retreat there. Bishop e7 would actually provide a retreat square, so maybe that's a possible move. Yeah, that's one of the engine moves, bishop e7. So that's a move. But these other squares are all taken by pawns, and that one's covered by pieces, so you need to do something about the knight. I decided just to trade it off so I wouldn't have to worry about it. And now, from here on out, white has an advantage. Let's just look at the notation tab. I play bishop e7 here. I can't say from here on out, because there was one chance where Devin let me back in the game. I just missed it, so we'll get to that. But very logical development here, bishop d3. And you can see this attack forming up. Both bishops are already pointing at the king side. The knight's here poised to jump in. He just needs to castle and get the queen over here. And white really has an excellent attack, so black needs to tread carefully. I went with bishop g4, hoping to slow down some of those actions. Maybe trade this knight off if need be. He castles to protect the knight with the rook and get the rook on this half-open f-file. I castle. And he plays queen to e1, preparing to bring his queen over to the king side. So right here I play f6, wanting to... I wanted to strike at the center, and I also wanted to open up the f-file so that rooks could get traded here potentially, and that can relieve some of the pressure of the attack. But it looks like that's a mistake, so bishop to h5 is a good move here. Yeah, one problem with my position is that this piece, the bishop, is loose on g4, and I'm not doing anything about it. If I reroute the bishop to g5, from g4 to h5 and then to g6, I can use that to counterattack or to counteract the pressure from this bishop. That might be a good plan here. Instead, I played f6, just leaving that there for the moment, and now he can take advantage of that loose bishop with this bishop takes f7 tactic, bishop takes h7 tactic. That pawn effectively is loose, because after I take it, the queen check picks up the bishop. So he can just grab a pawn there. It doesn't lead to a huge attack because the knight can't jump in. I've got the g5 square covered, but he can win a pawn, and why shouldn't he? That would be best play there. He did e takes f6, which is also a good move. Let's see, I took back with the bishop, and wonder, can he still play bishop takes h7? I wonder if that's been ruled out somehow. Let's try it. Oh, because my bishop is covering the h5 square. That's why it's ruled out. Sorry, that was obvious. Okay, so he played rook b1, attacking my loose pawn here. I block it, and he plays queen to g3. So all logical play from white, hitting my loose bishop over here. And I could retreat. Let's see, does it have any good retreats? Bishop to e6, or I could defend with queen d7, which was my original intention. But then I saw that he had this pin, and I thought that was a little bit uncomfortable there. He could always take the knight, pull my queen away, and then take the bishop. So I was always going to be under some pressure. And then it's interesting. So let's see what would happen, actually. Queen d7, bishop here, then just bishop f5. So yeah, I have time to retreat, and if he goes for the pin, then I've got my bishop on a good diagonal. So that's the way to play it. So I was kind of jumping at ghosts there a little bit. He can't, when he moves the bishop here to pin my knight, he gives up this diagonal. And that then provides a good square for my bishop to go to. Okay, not seeing that, I decided just to dissolve this weakness, trade it for his knight there. But, well, this leaves white with a good game. He's got an open f-file. He can double the rooks here. And, yep. He's just building up pressure here. But this one move here, rook b3, this was the one mistake maybe that Devin made in the game. And it overlooks a tactic that I missed too, so he kind of gets away with it. But the queen and the bishop are now lined up on the h4 square. And, I'd had some thoughts about this h4 square earlier, but it was covered by the knight at that time. But now the knight's gone, the h4 square is available, and my queen's behind the bishop. So after rook b3, this move here is actually really dangerous, because one point is that there's a mate threat here. His back rank is weak, which I had spotted that idea. But if the queen just gets out of the way, there's a mate in 4 here. Queen e1 check, and the rook drops back to block the check. And now this rook comes in, check. The bishop has to take, only move. and then bishop to f2 leads to a mate. So that's, well, it's only a 4-move mate. I think in a slow game you can spot stuff like that, or if you're a blitz, good at blitz, maybe you can find those mates. But also bishop to h4 is a move that could be just played on general principle, trying to harass someone after queen h3. You might try to think about ways to take advantage of the back rank. And if you see this idea, the queen there, it's all very forcing, the rook there and the bishop here. So it's really just those 3 moves you have to spot. Queen, rook, and bishop, forcing the king back, and then there's a mate. So pretty cute tactic. Anyway, after bishop h4, I don't want to give you the impression this is completely winning. White has the counterattack, bishop a3. And let's see, the best thing, according to the engine, is to just trade out at this point. So I take his queen, he takes my queen. And then, I can trade the rook for, yeah, his bishop is hanging, and I can give up my bishop for a pawn with check. And then, okay, trade rooks. Keep on taking stuff. And then finally take his bishop. And we'll see that black has emerged a pawn up. So this may be even a winning advantage from here, but certainly the game would continue. But an end game where black has good winning chances. That's what I could have gotten, even with best play after that one mistake of rook b3. Okay, but I played rook e8. I had spotted this weakness on the back rank. I was trying to find some way to take advantage of it. I had overlooked this bishop a3 move attacking my queen, and now I'm forced to act. And I was trying to build up to some kind of attack there. And I might have played bishop h4 eventually if I had time. But there's no time. My queen's under attack here. And so I just have to dissolve things. So queen e1 check, queen takes. And then after all of this, it should probably just end in a draw with correct play. So we'll show you where things went wrong. He's attacking my rook. The best way to defend the rook is with this bishop move. Kind of funny. But after the trades, he blocks, and then I can take this rook with check, and then he takes back, and then I can save my bishop. So this the idea of the check is to open up the f-file. So that's the best play here. I just defended the rook, and then he played bishop b5, and at this point I was starting to forget about my loose rook here, which is not loose, it's defended at the moment, but needs to be defended. It's under attack by his king. So I could retreat this to the 6th rank, and that would be okay. I wanted to unpin, and this actually is still okay, although at this point I would have to settle for a draw, because after bishop takes c6, I just can't take back right away, but I can check his king. And if his king goes back, then I'll check it again. If his king comes forward to g1 or to g3, then I can take the bishop safely and have an okay position, even with a slight edge to black. So the game would logically end in a draw like that with a repetition. But at this point, I had completely forgotten that his king was attacking my rook. I took his bishop, he took my rook, and that's how the game ended. So anyway, it was an entertaining game. Hopefully I'll get to play some more Blitz games with Devin. Our ratings aren't so far apart, so maybe I'll be able to score some points along the way as well. And also, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it's the Thanksgiving holiday starting tomorrow in the United States, so I won't be uploading videos for a few days. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody, whether you celebrate it or not. See you later. Bye.